In Getting Things Done, David Allen begins by diagnosing the modern knowledge worker's dilemma, an overloaded mind that struggles to focus amid a torrent of commitments, ideas, and information. He argues that our natural mind-like water state, calm, clear, and ready to respond appropriately, is disrupted by uncollected loose ends. Rather than trying to remember every stray thought, Allen urges us to capture everything external to the mind in a reliable system. When the mind is relieved of the burden of recall, it can devote full energy to creative thinking and appropriate action. He introduces the 5 steps of mastering workflow: capture, clarify, organize, reflect, and engage as the cornerstone for restoring mental clarity and control. The first step, capture, is about collecting a stuff in trusted external containers in boxes, notebooks, voice recorders, or digital capture tools. Allen emphasizes that every unfinished obligation, big or small, must be recorded immediately in one place. This could be an email to reply to, an idea for a new project, or even a mundane errand like buying print ink. The aim is to empty the mind of all open loops, so nothing remains lurking in the background demanding mental energy. By routinely clearing these inputs, Allen calls this the mind sweep. You build confidence in your system's completeness and ensure that no legitimate commitment falls through the cracks. Once captured, you clarify each item by asking 2 questions: what is it? And is it actionable? If an item isn't actionable, it either goes to the trash, into a maybe someday list for future consideration, or into a reference file if you need to keep the information. When an item is actionable, you determine the next physical action required to move it forward. If the action takes less than 2 minutes, you do it immediately. If it takes longer, you either delegate it if someone else can do it, or defer it by adding it to your calendar, 4 time-specific actions, or your next actions list, 4 non-time-specific tasks. This clear decision-making process prevents items from lingering in a state of uncertainty. With clarified items in hand, you move to organize, creating the structure that makes retrieval and execution efficient. Allen lays out several standard lists: projects, anything requiring more than 1 action; next actions, the next step on active projects or standalone tasks; waiting for, items you're expecting from others; and someday, maybe, ideas you might pursue later. He also highlights the use of context lists, grouping next actions by the tool, location, or situation you need, e.g., at office, at home, at phone. Context lists allow you to batch similar tasks, reducing wasted context switching time and enabling maximum productivity when you're in a given place or mindset. The 4th step, reflect, is where your system earns its long-term worth. Allen stresses the indispensability of the weekly review, a dedicated hour to process all inboxes, update project and next action lists, review your calendar, and clean up your reference files. The weekly review re-establishes trust in your system, ensuring it remains current, complete, and aligned with your goals. This ritual also provides perspective. Seeing all your commitments at once helps you make informed decisions about priorities and resource allocation. He recommends supplementing the weekly review with occasional higher-level reviews, such as monthly or quarterly check-ins on larger horizons of focus. Finally, engage, choosing what to do in the moment. Allen offers a simple decision framework based on 4 criteria: context, time available, energy available, and priority. When you trust your system fully, you can instantly select the most appropriate action from your next actions lists, rather than feeling overwhelmed by choices or obligated to address whatever yells loudest. This flow, capture, clarify, organize, reflect, engage, creates a seamless path from idea to execution, enabling you to perform at your best with minimal stress. Beyond the core 5-step workflow, Allen dives into the 6 horizons of focus, which align your day-to-day tasks with larger life objectives. At the ground level lies runway, your current next actions. 1 level up sits projects, covering all medium-term multi-step outcomes. Above that is areas of responsibility, ongoing domains of activity, e.g. health, finances, relationships. Further up, goals and objectives, which span 1 to 2 years. The fifth horizon is vision, 3 to 5 year aspirations. At the pinnacle lies your purpose and principles, the deepest values that guide all decisions. By clarifying each horizon, you ensure that daily tasks feed the long-term direction of your life and work, rather than running you haphazardly. Allen also emphasizes the importance of project planning for complex outcomes. He outlines the natural planning model. 1. Define the purpose and principles to clarify why the project matters and what boundaries apply. 2. Envision success by picturing the desired outcome. 3. Brainstorm all possible resources, ideas, and actions. 4. Organize the brainstorm into logical groupings, sequencing, grouping into sub-projects, and identifying milestones. And 5. Identify next actions, committing to the very next physical behavior required. This model scales the GTD methodology up from single actions to multi-step initiatives, ensuring even complex projects stay under control. Throughout the book, Allen addresses common implementation challenges. He warns against collection bottlenecks, failing to capture everything, and clarification paralysis, overthinking decisions. He provides troubleshooting tips, such as using a timer to push through inbox processing or scheduling weekly review time as a non-negotiable appointment. He also shows how to adapt GTD to digital tools, email, task management apps, cloud storage, while cautioning that technology should serve the method, not dictate it. In closing, Allen reflects on the profound impact of a trusted system. When properly implemented, GTD not only boosts productivity, but also reduces stress and frees mental bandwidth for creativity and strategic thinking. The book concludes with an invitation to experiment, start small, build habits gradually, and tailor the system to your personal style. Over time, practitioners report greater clarity, control, and calm, a mind like water, ready to respond, rather than react, to life's demands. By following this comprehensive workflow, capturing every input, clarifying decisively, organizing reliably, reflecting consistently, and engaging thoughtfully, you'll transform not only how you work, but how you think about work. As you align daily actions with higher-level goals through the 6 horizons, you ensure that every minute spent is meaningful, getting things done. Thus offers both a tactical toolkit for managing tasks and a strategic architecture for aligning your life's work with your deepest intentions. When fully adopted, GTD becomes more than a productivity hack. It becomes a way of life that cultivates sustained performance, creativity, and balance.